What's going on, 5-9 Gaming crew? Lethal, what up? And guys, welcome back to another 5-9 Gaming weekly wrap. This series where we go and look at the past news this past week. And let me just say, what a week it has been, especially Nintendo. This was a very Nintendo themed week. Going back into the Super Smash Bros. Ultimate announcement, Sora. I can't believe Sora is coming to Smash Brothers. When everybody said it wasn't gonna happen, it happened, and I'm so happy to see Sora come in. I put out a Twitter video. I was like crying basically because I grew up with Kingdom Hearts. Like, I played that game since I was a kid, and I played every single game, you know, up to me now in the adulthood. And I've been like speechless because it was such a great character. I feel like to end it on. I mean, we can go on a whole spiel about it, but I mean, I know a lot of other people are also big fans of it. So that was a really big emotional day that day when they announced that Sora was coming to Smash Bros. As the final DLC character, which is really cool. Not just that, Metroid Dread finally dropped. I've been playing the game, and I absolutely love it. As someone who's played through all the Metroid games, this is one that I was super anticipated, and I was really excited for. And I gotta say, so far, it's hitting the mark. Plus, make sure you stay tuned to the Direct channel because we're gonna be having our Metroid Dread review coming up. So make sure you go look out for that. What else? Oh, yeah, this thing. Yeah, the OLED Switch. I'm sorry, I turn on. The OLED Switch officially dropped. I got one. I talked about it a little bit on Twitter and whatnot, but I mean, so far, I'm absolutely loving my OLED Switch. I have to say, I was going to be honest, I did it because I have an issue with FOMO and I just like to have the new things, but actually, I'm actually really excited I got it, specifically because I am a handheld gamer, and we talked about this in our past videos, but I felt like this was a good upgrade. I didn't feel like I wasted my money. Believe it or not, again, for someone who's a handheld user, the experience has just been phenomenal. And you know what? I don't have an OLED TV. I kind of realized that. So I kind of felt like this is a good OLED experience for me. So everything is showing, right? The color vibrancy, everything about the screen is awesome. The bigger screen too, I'm actually really taking notice of that. Smaller bezels, like, believe it or not, the upgrade is what I'm trying to say. It felt good. Like, it feels like it's a good upgrade. Now again, it's not more powerful than the previous Switch. Keep that in mind. But again, this is mainly just for the handheld users that just want something. I mean, I'd still say hold out for the one that eventually will be the stronger Switch. But besides that, I mean, those are a bunch of Nintendo announcements. I have a bunch of stories to go through this week. In fact, I have 4 pieces of news to go through this week. But before we begin, as always, let's jump into the games that released this past week. We had Alan Wake Remastered, that was on the PS5, Xbox Series X and S, PS4, Xbox One, PC. That's on October 5th. We also had Super Monkey Ball Banana Mania, again, multiple platforms, October 5th. We had Far Cry 6 as well, multiple platforms, October 7th, and then Metroid Dread on the Switch, October 8th. And again, get the full listing over at Game Informer. That's where I'm getting my listing here. Now we're going to jump into story number 1, and this is pretty cool. Again, it's officially now. Grand Theft Auto Trilogy, the definitive edition, is officially announced by Rockstar. I'm getting this officially from Rockstar's website. They have a little cool newswire section. So it pretty much breaks down like this. As part of the upcoming 20th anniversary, Rockstar is releasing Grand Theft Auto Trilogy, the definitive edition for current generation platforms. The trilogy includes the following: Grand Theft Auto 3, Grand Theft Auto Vice City, and Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, releasing on the PlayStation 5, PlayStation 4, Xbox Series X and S, Xbox One, PC, Nintendo Switch. Who would have thought? I mean, I know Nintendo has gotten GTA games in the past, but they've never gotten something like this before, which is really cool to see. And it's, from what I saw, it's not cloud versions. It's legit. They're getting offline versions and everything. Like, that's the big question right now, is when Nintendo Switch gets these third-party games, are they cloud or are they not? So from what I've seen, it's not cloud-based. And then additionally, it will release on iOS and Android in the first half of 2022, which is cool. And then Rockstar says the definitive edition will feature across-the-board upgrades, including graphical improvements, modern gameplay enhancements for all 3 titles, while still maintaining the classic look and feel of the originals. Now, that's a whole smorgasbord of what to take in because it's not specific, but it's letting you know, hey, definitely some graphical updates. Definitely gonna make it feel like a modern game, which is good. I'm expecting it to be a little bit more faster, maybe more tighter. Maybe I don't know. The big thing that I had written down here was I was kind of curious about specifically the graphical improvements, because I remember reading a bunch of articles in the past that said they were going to be doing really big, graphical changes for like the character models, I think, and stuff like that. So I'm not sure, what they exactly mean. Rockstar, of course, isn't going to be specific and be like, this is what we're doing. They promised they're going to give more details closer to its launch, which was still projected for, I believe, this year, 2021. So we'll see if that ends up becoming true. But I am curious. I think for me, the biggest thing is to see what are the graphical changes that we're going to get. I wouldn't be surprised if it's not anything drastic, but I mean, I do remember the rumors that it could be something drastic. So give me your thoughts about that down below. I think it's so cool to see it coming to Switch. Those are games where you just always just have a bunch of fun, and so I feel like having it on the Switch, having it on the go is a great way to do it. I mean, it's also coming out to iOS and Android, so I mean, you have that as well. So we can jump again now to story number 2, and that is Nintendo has worked on JoyCon Drift. Interesting. This is coming from Nintendo Life by Liam Doolan, which we actually have another article by him as well. So we're going to break it down from the actual article itself. Toru Yamashita from Nintendo's Technology Development Division explains how the company has been continuously making improvements to the Joy-Con controllers since the launch of the original model, and noted how the Switch OLED Joy-Con is the latest version with all the improvements so far. Now, this is the official statement right here. We mentioned that the Joy-Con controller specifications hadn't changed in the sense that we didn't add new features such as new buttons, but the analog sticks in the Joy-Con controllers included with Nintendo Switch OLED models are the latest version with all the improvements. Needless to say, so are the analog sticks included in Nintendo Switch, Nintendo Switch Lite, and separately sold Joy-Con controllers and the Nintendo Switch Pro controller that are currently being shipped. And they also said that they continue to mention that they've been trying to improve it, and that they've investigated the Joy-Con controllers used by customers and repeatedly improved the wear resistance and durability. That's pretty much the article in a nutshell. They also did go out and say, like, listen, you have to remember to some, Joy-Cons will naturally just kind of, age over time, right? Wear and tear. But I think, a lot of people were saying, like, they just bought a Switch or something and the Joy-Cons were just, getting drift right away and stuff like that. This doesn't necessarily say that, like, Joy-Con Drift is gone. It's kind of them just, like, making a promise and just saying that, like, hey, we're still working on it, but you guys have the newest iterations of those Joy-Cons, right? With the, more tested and improved actual, sticks and everything. So I guess, give me your thoughts about that. I mean, I don't know, there's not much more to add to that besides the fact that it's nice to see that they're just saying, like, hey, we did put more work into it. And so I think that's a good thing, right? I mean, I know drift happens in other controllers too. People are talking about it in the DualSense. So kind of just happens, but I mean, I don't know, hopefully it's, less of an occurrence to actually see that. So definitely give me your thoughts about that down below. I know that's the one that a lot of people, like to, like, hit Nintendo with, especially with the Switch. The third story is Pokémon Legends Arceus is apparently not open world. Now, this is by Liam again at Nintendo Life. So specifically, the article breaks as follows. The Pokemon Company has shared a statement in response to a story on Kotaku, which seems to clarify how it will be more like series such as Monster Hunter, and another one that they've mentioned was Xenoblade. It explains how you, as the trainer, will set out from the village to various open areas of the Hisui region to complete tasks. Now, this was an official Pokemon Company statement. In Pokemon Legends Arceus, Jubilife Village will serve as the base for surveying missions. After receiving an assignment or request and preparing for their next excursion, players will set out from the village to study one of the various open areas of the Hisuian region. After they finish the survey work, players will need to return once more to prepare for the next task. We look forward to sharing more information about exploring the Hisui region soon. I gotta say, it's not that upsetting to me, and I've seen a lot of people already saying they're canceling their pre-orders for the new Pokemon Legends Arceus because it's not open world. In my mind, I think the day that they go, like, full on, big blown open world Pokemon game will probably be maybe with the next main title Pokemon game. Maybe this is just kind of like a test run. But again, as someone myself who was really excited for an open world Pokemon, which I thought that's what Pokemon Legends Arceus was going to be, it's a little upsetting. But at the same time, I want to give them the benefit of the doubt because I still enjoy, believe it or not, I still enjoy the art style. I still enjoy the way it looks appearance wise versus like what we're getting with the Diamond and Pearl remakes. I don't mind those. Those are very classical Pokemon, and of course I'm still gonna play it. I'm still gonna get it. But I've always said for a long time now, I want to see Pokemon, dive into more of what not X and Y. What was the newest ones? Oh no, yeah. I don't know. See, it's been a while since I played Pokemon, but the latest iterations, Sword and Shield, sorry. The latest iterations of Pokemon, I was really happy to see it go in that direction. So I got to say, me personally, I like what Legends Arceus is doing, even if it's not open world, but it's pretty big, you know, certain maps, climbable, you could do certain things. I mean, you've seen the Pokemon trainer flying, and there's so many cool things that they're doing, right? So I want to say that I'm still excited for this. I think, believe it or not, even the battling system is still pretty unique, as you saw in the past Trilogy that came out for Legends Arceus. So there's still going to be some new stuff to it. I'm still excited for it, but give us your thoughts about that down below. Does this now, you know, not the fact that it's definitely not fully open world, you know, this has kind of killed the hype for you? Let us know down below. And then we're going to go ahead and conclude with the final story. And that's pretty much that the Metroid Dread review scores are in. This is coming from Nibble over on Twitter. Now, a bunch of outlets have been giving their scores. You have Eurogamer giving the game Essential. We have VGC 5 out of 5. Screen Rant 5 out of 5, The Gamer 4.5 out of 5, VG247 4 out of 5, IGN a 9, Game Informer a 9, Press Start 8.5, GameSpy 8, and I think the current Metacritic, at the time of recording, current Metacritic score is 88. Honestly, so far, I can agree with all of this. Again, I've played the past Metroid games, and I'm playing Dread right now, and I absolutely love this game. It's so good. It feels like it belongs in the Metroid 2D family, but the thing is like this game is so much more fast. I feel like, well, personally, it's the newest game as well, but it's a very fast-paced game, which I love it. I think I love it for that exact reason, is that it feels like what the modern-day Metroid game should be like, and it's really cool. I mean, there's some cool things that they added into it that's brand new. The enemies, specifically the EMMIs, they're so freaking terrifying. It actually takes a big chapter out of the book that I personally was a fan of back from Metroid Fusions, which was, you know, the SAX running away from, you know, the clone and everything. Seeing them mimic that same feeling of running away from the EMMIs is perfect, absolutely perfect. It kind of brought back like that suspenseful thriller kind of feel, because, you know, if you get caught, you know, you have a chance to kind of get out of it. But it's really good so far. I'm glad to see it doing so good. And apparently it's like hitting top charts for a bunch of different places too, so fingers crossed that honestly this does so well that I don't want to say that, like, you know, I hope that we get another one. If I'm not mistaken, I think this was the last one to end this series specifically, or maybe just the story that they're trying to finish up. I love Metroid 2Ds and like the 2D Metroid, and so I like to continue to see more. Maybe, you know, a brand new kind of story or something like that. At the end of the day, if not that, I want the success of this game to show Nintendo like yo, Nintendo fans, you know, us included, we want to see more Metroid games. And so, you know, again, fingers crossed that we'll eventually at some point get a Metroid Prime game. If not the trilogy, at least something, because, you know, we do have 4 on the works. And so, I don't know, hopefully we'll get to see more of those games coming, because it's good to see that this is doing well. Metroid is back, baby. It's nice to say that. All right, guys, and before we end, let's do a quick list. Oh, and before I even forget, we just talked about Metroid Dread. And again, as a reminder, stay tuned to the 5-9 Gaming Direct channel, because we will be having our review up for that game. Now, again, quick list of games to look at for next week. We have Back 4 Blood dropping October 12th. We have the Jackbox Party Pack 8 dropping October 14th. And then this is the one that I know is really anticipated, the Demon Slayer, the Hinokami Chronicles, October 15th. And guys, that's it for this week for the weekly wrap. If you guys enjoyed this video, do me a favor, give it a like. If you're brand new to the channel and you're watching, you're like, yo, I like these guys. These guys are pretty cool. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And again, I'm Lethal1Up. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.